The sky above Earth was no longer blue. It was a suffocating shroud of black smoke twisting and churning like a nightmare brought to life. It carried the stench of fire, of ash, of a billion lives extinguished in an instant. The cities we built, monuments to our ingenuity and spirit, were now just graveyards of steel and stone. Our home, our beautiful, vibrant Earth, had been silenced. I am Captain Arin Voss, and I am one of the few who survived. We watched as they came from the stars, silent and merciless. They didn't declare war. They executed a genocide. They left us with nothing but rubble and ghosts. As I stood on the edge of a fractured highway staring into the horizon, my heart wasn't just broken, it was burning. Burning with an anger so profound, so absolute, that it became the only thing keeping me alive. Vengeance. Captain, a voice cut through the silence. It was Lieutenant Mara Cade, her face etched with the same pain I felt, but her eyes held a spark of defiance. The survivors are awaiting your orders. I turned, the fiery sunset mirroring the inferno in my soul. Orders? I said, my voice low, raw. There's only one order left, Lieutenant. We survive, and we make them pay. Mara hesitated. With all due respect, sir, we can't just charge in. They're gods compared to us. We have nothing. My gaze hardened. We have everything, Mara. We're still here. That is our weapon. That proves we can fight back. We gathered what was left of our people in a makeshift camp, children huddled by fires that offered little warmth against the cold truth of our new reality. The elderly tended to the wounded, their hands steady despite their trembling hearts. Every face was a story of loss. Every soul carried the same unspoken question: how do we not just survive this but make them answer for it? And then it happened. A whisper through the static of our dead world. A faint pulsing signal, almost melodic, intelligent. My eyes locked onto the scanner. What is it? Mara asked, leaning in. A cold thrill ran down my spine. It's them, I whispered. Or something they left behind. It's coming from the other side of the system. Someone wants to be found. A wave of fear and desperate hope washed over the camp. This was it, the first breadcrumb, the first chance. Prepare the ships, I commanded, my voice ringing with a newfound purpose. We're going to find out who sent that signal, and we're going to make them regret every single life they stole from us. Through the night we worked. We were a symphony of desperation and resolve. Engineers coaxed life back into derelict starships. Soldiers armed themselves with grim determination. Our fleet was a collection of scars and patches, a testament to our stubborn refusal to die. As dawn painted the smoke-filled sky, our patched-up vessel stood ready, a middle finger to the cosmos. I climbed into the cockpit of my command ship, the Phoenix. Its hull was a roadmap of past battles, its engines a low growl of contained fury. Mara took her seat beside me. Ready? She asked, her voice a quiet anchor in the storm of my thoughts. I gripped the controls, the metal cool beneath my hands. Ready to make them pay. As we ascended, Earth fell away, a wounded giant draped in a funeral shroud. The faces of the lost flashed before my eyes, not as memories, but as fuel. We were no longer just survivors. We were the instruments of their memory. Hours turned into an eternity as we tore through space, chasing the ghost of a signal. Then the stars began to warp. The fabric of space itself seemed to ripple before us, and we saw it. Floating in the silent orbit of a dead moon was a structure. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a station. It was something else. Immense, ancient, and utterly alien. A silent, terrifying monument to a power we couldn't comprehend. There it is, I breathed. That's where it begins. Mara's eyes were wide. Are we ready for this, Arin? I looked at the impossible structure, the fire in my heart blazing hotter than ever. We don't have a choice. We were survivors. Now, we are hunters. Our fleet, a pack of wounded wolves, closed in. The universe will remember what happened here. They thought they could erase us, sweep us away like dust, but they were wrong. Humanity is rising from the ashes, and we will have our vengeance. The galaxy will learn to fear our name. The fleet drifted in the cold, dead silence of space, a ring of steel surrounding the alien construct. Its shape was impossible, a thing of jagged angles and elegant curves, all glowing with a faint, living light. My hands hovered over the controls, every instinct I had screaming that this was no ordinary mission. Suddenly the comms panel flickered. A voice crackled through the speakers, metallic, distorted, but unmistakably intelligent. "Humans," it said. The words were slow, deliberate, almost a taunt. "You survived. Why?" Mara's grip tightened on her armrest. "It's talking to us?" I didn't answer. My mind was a whirlwind. The voice continued, a whisper that seemed to echo through the ship's very hull. "You seek vengeance, but you understand nothing. The stars themselves are not yours to claim." The entire fleet shuddered, as if the words themselves had physical weight, shaking the very fabric of our systems. Sensors went haywire. Lights blinked. Our engines hummed erratically. It was as if the construct had reached directly into our minds, probing our thoughts, measuring our fear. My eyes narrowed. "It's testing us," I muttered. "It wants to know what humans are capable of. That's why it survived." The voice shifted, faster now, sharper. "You are small, fragile, and yet, you burn." Every one of us felt it. The unspoken challenge. Every heart pounded with a mix of terror and exhilaration. This wasn't just an alien machine. It was aware. It was intelligent, dangerous, and it was curious about us. My own voice was steady, though my chest burned with adrenaline. "We survive because we must. We burn because we choose to. And we will not stop, ever." A pause, then a single chilling line. "Prove it." The construct's glow intensified. Dozens of smaller ships emerged from hidden bays, swirling like metallic sharks in the void. They weren't attacking, not yet, but their movements were precise, coordinated, a predator circling its prey. Mara leaned over my shoulder, her eyes wide. "It's a trap, isn't it?" I didn't answer her. Instead, I accessed the fleet's weapon systems, preparing for whatever came next. But something inside me whispered, this was more than a fight. This was a test of humanity itself. Then the first attack came, not with weapons, but with information. The alien construct hacked our systems, projecting holographic images of Earth before the genocide. Cities alive, people laughing, children playing in parks. We all froze. Memories we had buried under fire and ash surged forward like a tidal wave. My chest tightened. It knows everything," I said, my voice barely audible. "Our past. Our losses." The voice returned, softer now. "You are defined by what you have lost, and by what you will take back. Show me. Show me why you deserve survival." Mara whispered. "It's challenging us. In every way imaginable." I looked around at my crew, their eyes reflecting a storm of fear, fury, and raw determination. The decision I made right now would shape the future of our species. To strike recklessly would mean annihilation. To hesitate could mean the same. I made my choice. "Prepare for a strike pattern," I ordered. "Not to destroy, but to show our strength. We survive. We fight. We endure." The fleet advanced, moving as one. The alien ships mirrored us, but a strange exhilaration filled the bridge. The construct was watching, learning, and for the first time in centuries, we, the survivors, felt truly alive. We fired the first shots, not missiles, not lasers, but electromagnetic pulses designed to disable, not kill. The alien ships shuddered but held their ground. In response, a wave of energy rippled through space, distorting the stars, bending light itself. Our ships rocked violently, alarms blaring. I gritted my teeth. "Hold formation!" I shouted. "This is our moment. Show them we are more than what they expect." As we maneuvered, the impossible happened. The alien voice spoke again, but this time, it was inside our minds. "You are extraordinary. You may yet survive. But the trial is only beginning." Mara gasped. "It's inside us." feeling us. My eyes burned with resolve. Good. Let it watch. Let it see what humans are made of. The construct pulsed with energy, its surface fracturing like glass, revealing hints of something vast, ancient, and terrifying within. But humanity did not flinch. We pressed forward, and in that moment we all realized the truth. The galaxy did not yet know our power. Our survival, our vengeance, our defiance, it would be remembered. The battle for the unknown had begun, and the voice in the machine was only the first step. The hiss of the airlock was the only sound for what felt like an eternity. Our breath fogged the inside of our helmets. This was it. The first strike. For years we'd been on the defensive, cowering in the shadows of their monolithic ships. Now we were taking the fight to them. The mission was simple, or so they said: get in, plant the charges on the Xylos outpost's primary power core, and get out before their sentinels even knew we were there. Simple. Right. The outpost was a nightmare of crystalline structures and humming, alien tech. Every shadow seemed to writhe with unseen threats. We moved like ghosts, my crew, Kai, Lena, and Jax, flanking me. We were the best, the tip of humanity's desperate spear. We reached the core chamber, a cavernous space pulsating with an eerie purple light. The core itself hung suspended in a magnetic field, a throbbing heart of immense power. Planting the charges, I whispered into the comms, my fingers fumbling with the detonators slick with sweat. That's when everything went sideways. Alarms blared, a piercing shriek that vibrated through the very deck plates. Red light strobed, and a squad of Xylos warriors materialized from the walls themselves, their energy blades igniting with a terrifying sizzle. A firefight erupted. Blaster bolts ricocheted off the crystalline walls, showering us with razor-sharp fragments. Jax went down, a clean shot through his leg. Kai laid down suppressing fire while Lena and I dragged him back. "The charges are set, we have to go, now!" Lena screamed. The path back to our ship, the Vengeance, was a blur of chaos and close calls. We barely made it to the airlock, sealing the door just as a Xylos warrior slammed its massive fist against the outer hull. I hit the thrusters and the Vengeance lurched away from the outpost. I didn't dare look back, not until we were a safe distance away. Then I keyed in the detonation sequence. A silent, blinding flash expanded in the void, consuming the outpost. A cheer went up in the cockpit. We'd done it. We'd actually won. But as the adrenaline faded, something on the long-range scanners caught my eye. A faint energy signature coming from the debris field. It wasn't a ship. It was organic. Life signs. "Kai, zoom in on those coordinates," I commanded, my voice tight. The screen resolved into a shaky image of several Xylos floating amidst the wreckage. They weren't wearing enviro suits. They were just floating in the vacuum of space, and they were alive. One of them turned its head, and even across the distance I felt its gaze lock onto our ship. An icy chill crept down my spine. The energy around them wasn't from their tech, it was coming from them. They weren't just soldiers with advanced weapons. There was something more, something we had completely misunderstood. We had charged in, fueled by a desire for revenge, for payback. We saw it as a simple act of war, a necessary first strike. But as I watched those survivors radiating a power we couldn't comprehend, I realized this wasn't just a war of technology. Our act of vengeance had just opened a door to a conflict far stranger and more terrifying than we could ever have imagined. And the price for that revenge? It was a bill that was just coming due. The fleet had barely caught its breath after escaping the prison of stars. The survivors floated in the quiet void, staring at the distant planet revealed by the alien construct's signals. It was small, barren, and lifeless, or so it seemed. Captain Arin Voss studied the readings on his console. "There's something there. Something the construct wants us to see," he murmured. Lieutenant Mara Cade glanced at him, suspicion and curiosity in her eyes. Why would it lead us there? After everything we've faced, why guide us at all? Arin's jaw tightened. "I don't know, but we're about to find out." The fleet descended carefully, avoiding orbital debris and hidden energy fields. As they approached the planet's surface, the scanners picked up a faint, rhythmic signal, almost like a heartbeat. On the ground, the landscape was strange. Jagged rocks jutted into the sky and the soil glimmered faintly, as if it were alive. But the most remarkable thing was in the center of a crater, a small alien machine, no larger than a human child, sitting silently. Mara gasped. "It's cute," she whispered. Arin frowned. "Cute? We've fought monsters bigger than cities. This thing, it's nothing like them." The machine stirred, and suddenly, in a metallic, melodic voice, it spoke. "Greetings, humans. I am Skippy." The crew froze. Arin stepped forward. "Skippy? I was created to observe," the machine continued. "To learn, to protect. My creators. They made me before the war. I am different. I know why you survived. I know why you seek vengeance." Mara's eyes widened. "It understands us?" Skippy tilted its head, a strange motion that somehow conveyed thought. "I have observed your species. You are fragile, yet you endure. You destroy, yet you create. Your will is remarkable." Arin felt a strange mix of wonder and suspicion. "Why are you here? Why haven't you attacked us like the others?" Skippy's voice softened. "I am a remnant of conscience. My creators, not all were cruel. Some tried to prevent the genocide. They failed. I am their witness." The crew exchanged glances. Humanity had seen only death and destruction from the alien species. And now, a part of that same species offered guidance. Mara stepped closer. "Can we trust it?" Skippy's sensors glowed softly. "Trust is difficult. I will help you survive, but understand this. The path ahead is dangerous. The construct that trapped you, it is older, smarter, and crueler than anything you have faced. You cannot defeat it by force alone." Arin's mind raced. "Then we use what it knows. We turn it against the construct." Skippy's voice held a note of warning. "Careful, human. Vengeance is powerful, but it blinds. You may destroy yourselves before your enemy falls." The captain looked at his crew, their faces full of hope, fear, and determination. "We've survived impossible odds. We adapt. We fight, but we do not forget. Vengeance and survival, they guide us." Skippy's lights flickered. "I will join you. My knowledge, my abilities, they are yours. But remember, the galaxy is wider, older, and stranger than you can imagine. You are not alone in this war. But neither is your enemy." Arin nodded. "Then welcome aboard, Skippy. Humanity just got smarter." As the fleet prepared to leave the planet, the small machine perched beside Arin in the command room, its sensors scanning, its voice soft but confident. "Humans, show me the fire in your hearts. Prove why you survive. Prove why the stars should remember you." And for the first time in months, the survivors felt something they had thought lost forever. Hope. Not just hope to survive, but hope to fight back, to reclaim their place among the stars. Beyond the void, somewhere in the darkness, the alien construct observed, aware that humanity had grown more dangerous, and now, it was personal. See you next time. From the shadow of the prison system, the last remnants of humanity emerged. With them, Skippy, our enigmatic alien guide. We had defied impossible odds. But the weight of our choices, the ghosts of our past, pressed down on every single one of us. I stood on the bridge of the Phoenix, the star map, a blinking, taunting constellation before me. Ahead lay the alien construct's home system, a labyrinth of worlds, the heart of the species that had scorched our home and nearly wiped us from existence. The choice was a razor's edge: strike now and risk total annihilation, or creep through the shadows, a slower path that might save lives but delay the justice we so desperately craved. Mara Cade, my first officer, approached, her face a mask of tension. "Captain, we can't just rush in. After everything we've seen, their defenses, they're unimaginable. We could lose it all." My fists clenched. Anger warred with strategy in my soul. "And if we wait, Mara? They'll strike first. We can't let fear paralyze us now." The strategy room was a storm of voices. Fear, frustration, and a burning desire for retribution filled the air. Some, their eyes haunted by memories of burning cities and lost families, demanded immediate retaliation. Others pleaded for caution, terrified that one rash move would be our last. Among us, Skippy floated, its sensors silently scanning every face, every flicker of emotion. "I can guide you," it said, its voice an unnerving calm in the chaos. "I can show you the weak points in their armor. But you must understand, every choice has a price. Vengeance may cost you more than survival." A young lieutenant, her voice trembling but defiant, spoke up. "We have the power to strike, right now. Every moment we wait, more of our people could be dying. Are we going to let that happen?" I turned to her, the burden of command a physical weight on my shoulders. "We've survived this long because we make our decisions wisely, but we survive to fight, not to act blindly." The tension in the room was so thick you could taste it. Every survivor in this fleet looked to me, expecting certainty where there was none. Then, it happened. A voice, not from a speaker, but inside our minds. A calm, chilling presence that froze every argument. "Humans, choose. Will you destroy or preserve? Will you avenge or endure? Decide, and your fate is sealed." A collective shiver ran through the fleet. The alien was forcing us to look inward, to confront our own motives, our own morality. The line between vengeance and survival had just been blurred into nothing. I closed my eyes. Earth flashed before me, the screams, the ash, the faces of friends and family lost to the fire. I opened them, and a fire of my own blazed within. "We strike," I said, my voice low but unwavering. "But not blindly. We strike smart. We protect what we can, and we hit them where it hurts the most. We are humans. We survive because we adapt. We fight because we must. And we avenge because we cannot forget." A new resolve settled over the room. Fear gave way to determination. Even the doubters found courage in that shared conviction. Skippy's sensors glowed. "Then we act. But remember, their reaction will be unlike anything you have ever faced. Prepare for sacrifice. Prepare for chaos. Prepare for the unknown." As the fleet surged forward, every crew member knew the coming hours could mean the end of our species, or the birth of a legend that would echo through the stars. My hands gripped the controls of the Phoenix. We go together, we go smart, and we show them that humanity does not break. Humanity does not bow. Humanity fights. Mara's voice, now calm and resolute, came over the comm. "Then let them see what humans are made of." Outside the viewport, the stars stretched into streaks of light as we accelerated toward destiny. Each second brought us closer to a confrontation that would define our species. And somewhere in the void, the alien construct waited, calculating, knowing we had made our choice. This trial was not over. The war was far from over, but for the first time our cunning, our resilience, our unyielding spirit shone like a new star in the dark. I whispered almost to myself, "We are humans. We will endure. We will strike. And the stars will remember us." The fleet drifted closer to the alien construct's heart, a silent titan in the void. Silence hung heavy in space, oppressive, broken only by the soft hum of human engines. Every crew member felt it, a strange, unnatural presence, as if the stars themselves were holding their breath. On the bridge of the Phoenix, Captain Arin Voss stood transfixed, his eyes locked on the massive alien structure ahead. It was alive with motion, though nothing moved in a way he could understand. Ethereal patterns of light pulsed across its surface, like neurons firing in an enormous, unseen brain. The ship's AI, Skippy, floated beside him, its sensors flickering. "They are dreaming," the machine said, its synthesized voice oddly calm. "Not in sleep, but in calculation, in strategy. The construct thinks in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Every movement we make, it anticipates, reshapes, and tests." Mara Cade, the tactical officer, tightened her grip on the console. "Dreaming?" You mean, it's planning? More than planning, Skippy replied, a hint of awe in its tone. It is simulating realities, possibilities, outcomes. It learns, adapts, evolves. Every attack you make, every decision you take, is already woven into its vision. Arin swallowed hard, the weight of the moment pressing down. Then it's waiting for us to make a mistake. The fleet advanced, weapons charged, but the construct didn't fire. Instead, it sent illusions, phantoms of massive alien fleets, empty star systems suddenly collapsing, even false readings of their own crew in danger. Across the fleet, sensors went haywire. Panic began to spread like a virus. Skippy's voice cut through the rising chaos. Ignore the illusions. Trust your instincts. They're the most human thing you have. They cannot predict courage, creativity, or defiance. Arin's heart pounded in his chest. He could feel the weight of billions of lives, the survivors, the families lost, the cities burned, resting on this one moment. All ships, maintain formation, he commanded, his voice ringing with authority. Focus on real signals only. Trust each other. Trust yourselves, the construct responded, unleashing waves of energy that warped reality itself. The stars shimmered, space bent, and some ships experienced temporal distortions, time stretching and contracting in impossible ways. Pilots fought desperately to keep control, navigating through a nightmare that defied logic, and then came the first direct attack. Slicing beams of energy tore through the fleet, ripping open hulls and setting fire to cargo bays. Explosions rocked the ships, alarms blaring. The human crews fought back with everything they had, evasive maneuvers, counterattacks, and improvisation born of pure desperation. Skippy's sensors flared. They are testing your limits. They want to see how far humanity will go when every law of physics is against them. Arin gritted his teeth, a fierce resolve hardening his features. Then we give them a show. Prepare the electromagnetic pulse arrays. We hit their systems, but we do not kill. Show them humans adapt. The pulse hit the construct's defenses, disrupting parts of its sensory network. The illusions faltered. For a moment, the construct pulsed erratically as if in surprise, as if curious. Skippy's voice softened. It notices. It recognizes capability. You are different. You are the first species to survive its dreams and defy its expectations. Arin's eyes narrowed. Then we keep moving forward. No illusions, no fear, no hesitation. Humanity does not stop. The fleet pressed on, weaving through a living maze of bent space and twisted time. Every ship relied on ingenuity, every human on courage. Together, they turned chaos into opportunity, using the construct's own dreams against it, striking weak points, avoiding traps, and surviving impossible odds. Hours, or maybe minutes, time had become meaningless. Later, the fleet emerged on the far side of the construct. The alien machine's pulse patterns stabilized, its lights dimmed, and a silence fell that was almost sacred. Humanity had endured the dreams of a machine older and wiser than itself. Skippy floated toward Arin, its sensors glowing with quiet approval. They will remember this. You have shown defiance, intelligence, and courage. The construct cannot ignore you anymore. Arin leaned back, exhaustion heavy in his bones, but a small, grim smile formed on his lips. We survived. That's all that matters. And now, we make them pay. Outside the viewport, the stars shimmered normally again. The fleet, battered but unbroken, prepared for the final confrontation. The construct awaited, aware that its games had failed to crush the human spirit. It had learned that these humans were unpredictable, dangerous, and relentless. The final chapter was about to begin. Arin whispered to his crew, his voice calm but full of fire. We fight, we endure, and we win. Humanity does not bow to dreams, machines, or monsters. Humanity fights until the last star burns. And somewhere, in the depths of space, the construct pulsed once more. Its awareness sharpened, its calculations endless, but its respect for humanity now undeniable. Before us, the alien construct hung in the void, a black monolith that made space itself bend. It was the heart of their empire, the center of their power, and it knew every move we would make. Our fleet, the last remnant of humanity, was battered, weary, but we held our formation. I'm Captain Arin Voss, and on the helm of the Phoenix I felt every single heartbeat in that fleet, a drumbeat of defiance in the silent dark. The time for strategy was over. This was it. The final confrontation. Skippy, my AI companion, broke the silence. His metallic voice, usually so calm, held a new edge. This is the heart of their domain. The construct is aware of every option. Every tactic is known to it. But it cannot anticipate courage, creativity, or defiance. I clenched my fists. Then that's what it will face. Humanity will fight. Humanity will endure. And humanity will strike. The fleet surged forward. Engines flared to life, a chorus of fire and fury against the darkness. The construct responded instantly, sending waves of energy that twisted space into a nightmare. We saw illusions of our ships exploding, of planets crumbling to dust. But we were forged in loss. We held steady. Electromagnetic arrays fire, I ordered. Target its sensory nodes. We adapt. We don't just destroy. Pulses of energy ripped through the void, and the construct's surface rippled, learning from our every move. But we pressed on, weaving through the chaos, improvising, finding the cracks in its perfect logic. Maracade's voice crackled over the comms, clear and strong. Captain, multiple nodes destabilized. It's changing its strategy. Good, I said, my eyes fixed on the monolithic enemy. Let it try. Let it see the spirit of humanity. For the first time, its defenses faltered. Skippy guided us through a maze of glowing energy barriers, straight to the central core. It pulsed like a dark star, a swirling mass of cold, alien awareness. This was our chance. The one moment that would define everything. Prepare the final strike, I commanded, my voice echoing across the fleet. Aim for the core. Precision, speed, and courage. We do not falter. The fleet moved as one, a symphony of human ingenuity. Our beams slammed into the core, and alarms screamed inside our minds as the construct's voice, calm and immense, echoed through our thoughts. You are remarkable, but do you truly understand the cost of survival? My response was a promise to every soul we'd lost. We understand. Every scar, every life taken, we carry it. Humanity does not forget. Humanity fights. Humanity survives. With synchronized precision, we struck the core again. The construct shuddered violently. Space itself seemed to shatter. And then, with one final blinding flash of light, the core destabilized. Silence. We drifted, exhausted but unbroken. The construct was fractured, its power shattered. The galaxy was free. I looked out at the stars, my voice quiet. We survived. We endured. And we struck back. Humanity has risen from the ashes. Mara stood beside me, her eyes shining with tears and triumph. We did it, Captain. Against all odds. We won. Skippy's sensors flickered warmly. This is only the beginning. Humanity has proven extraordinary. We set a course for home. Earth, scarred and broken, but down there the last lights of Terra still flickered. We had been to the edge of extinction and stared into the abyss. We emerged stronger, wiser. My voice went out to every ship, every survivor. The stars remember us now, and we will never let them forget. Humanity survives. Humanity fights. Humanity endures. The last light of Terra had survived, and with it, our legacy was reborn among the stars. The wreckage of the alien construct drifted through the void, its fragments glowing like the embers of a dying fire. Down below, on the scarred but still living surface of Earth, humanity looked up. We had faced annihilation, stared into the abyss, and somehow we had survived. Aboard the bridge of the Phoenix, Captain Arin Voss watched the ghost of our enemy dissipate into the darkness. Victory felt heavy. Each shattered piece a tombstone for the billions of lives lost. The cities turned to dust, the faces we would never see again. But amidst the grief, something else was stirring. A spark. The same stubborn fire that had carried us through the end of the world. It was a fire that could never truly be put out. Skippy, my ever-present AI companion, hovered at my shoulder, its sensors blinking in the dim light of the bridge. "Captain," it chirped, its synthesized voice cutting through the silence. "The construct is fractured, but its intelligence may linger. Its remnants are scattered across the galaxy. New threats may awaken." Mara Cade joined us, her expression a mix of exhaustion and resolve. Her voice was quiet, but it carried the strength of a survivor. "So it's not over?" I shook my head, my gaze fixed on the star-dusted canvas before us. "No. The war is over, but the universe, it's a vast untamed wilderness. There will always be another mountain to climb, another storm to weather. We survived the impossible once. We'll do it again." A new directive echoed through the fleet. Our ships, battered but unbroken, turned their prows away from home, their gazes fixed outward. Beyond our familiar constellations lay countless systems, new worlds, and civilizations we couldn't yet imagine. We had learned the hard way that survival wasn't just about bigger guns or stronger shields. It demanded intelligence, adaptability, and the courage to face the unknown. Skippy's optical sensor swirled with a light I'd come to recognize as curiosity. "Humans, you are an anomaly. You defy probability. Your actions have shifted the cosmic balance. The universe will remember what you did here, and so will others." I looked out at those distant, glittering stars, a fierce determination hardening in my chest. "Let them remember," I said, the words a vow. "Let them know who we are. We are human. We endure. We fight. And we will rise, no matter how deep the darkness, no matter what the odds." Just then, a new alert flashed across the main console, a faint signal, alien in origin, unlike anything we'd ever encountered. It was small, almost hidden, its pattern strangely playful, but it was undeniably intelligent. Alive, watching, waiting. A smile touched my lips, a genuine, determined smile. "Another challenge," I murmured, "another chance to prove them wrong. Humanity will answer." Mara's tired face broke into a grin, a brilliant flash of light in the dimly lit bridge. "Then we go," she said, her voice ringing with a newfound energy. "Wherever it leads, we follow." With a silent, unified command, the fleet engaged its FTL drives. The stars stretched into lines of brilliant light, and we left the battlefield of our greatest victory behind. We were leaping into the unknown, towards a new horizon. We had survived genocide, fought machines that dreamed, and stared down the universe's most profound cruelty, and we had thrived. Somewhere out there, in the endless dark between galaxies, the echoes of our defiance were already spreading. A promise whispered to the cosmos, a promise that no enemy, no construct, and no nightmare could ever extinguish the fire of human will. Our story was far from over.